Hi everyone. Today I've got a DeGuard High Security Cylinder that I got from UHS Hardware. I literally just opened this one up. I've had a couple sitting here, but I've never opened one up to pick before, so I did that today. So there's all the stuff it comes with. Mounting hardware, your key card, and I think there's like 5 keys in there. This is basically a multi-lock interactive clone, so it looks very similar in terms of the internals. It's 5 pins, pin-in-pin design, and all the security pins are spools. It's cheaper than a multi-lock, but basically the same thing. So I'll show some of the stuff in a little more detail. So there's one of the drivers. So you can see it's pin-in-pin. So this bottom pin right here gets pushed up. So when you're picking it, you have to pick the outer, and then you also have to pick the inner. And you can see it's spooled there, as I mentioned. So you do have to do a little bit of counter rotation in order to get that up and out of not being set. Here's one of the key pins. So again, pin and pin, so it's hollow. This one's a torpedo. There's a couple torpedoes in here. So if you overset this, it will get stuck. I have not had that issue really with these. I've never found that the torpedo key pins are actually that impactful in terms of picking. And there's one of the inners. You can see it's just got a little cap at the top so it doesn't fall down too much, and it just sits inside of that outer key pin. Because this is an interactive clone, it does have this element on the key that I guess you can get like a higher than max lift. So again, I think that's just key control. It doesn't really do anything for picking, except that you have to lift that second pin really high to get it completely set, but it's usually not an issue, and it picks like normal. You just have to lift it really high. It's not like it trips you up or anything. In the plug, you can see that little nub there. That's what interacts with the key. So that little floating element on the key sits over that and then pushes it up. I've always found these interesting because they have warding, but it's all the way in the back. I think it's just there to help keep the key aligned when you insert it. I'm not sure why they didn't put the warding down the entire length of the plug. So it's interesting, but not sure. And then the body, nothing special in there really. So that's basically it. That's the overview. I'll get this up in the vise and get it picked. It goes pretty fast. But again, it's not too dissimilar from picking any kind of multi-lock junior, multi-lock interactive with spools or anything like that. So get over to the next segment and do the picking here. Okay, here's my DeGuard High Security Cylinder. Keys are working. Got a multi-pick number 5 flag that I'm using here. And this is a mix of spools and 1 standard for my drivers. So I'm in a false set right now, and now I'm just looking for some counter rotation on the spools as I set them here. I feel like what throws me off sometimes on these locks is, oh, there we go, deep false set, is getting the spool lifted high enough so that it actually sets all the way. So let's see here. Should be just 1 or 2 of these inners. And I'm going to switch to this shorter flag. And let's see if I can figure out which one needs to be tapped up here. There we go. It was 2. Just a real high lift on that one. Okay, just a couple minutes there to get that picked. But you can see cam's moving. So that's all opened up. All right, quick gut here. Just relocked it. And let's get this open. So just a cam on the back here, 2 screws. And that is just a key limiter. It stops the key from inserting too far. Okay, let's do that. And no weird holes or anything in this plug, so you don't have to worry about anything falling. And I'm actually going to do the drivers first here. So there's driver 1, spooled. Driver 2 is a standard. Driver 3 is spooled. Driver 4 is spooled. And driver 5, you can see it in there. It's spooled too. All right, and I'm just gonna dump the springs. The springs in this are extra long. Oh, they're all falling out the back of the plug, or the body. Oh, no, they're there. I was gonna say there should be 4 coming out of there. Okay, and then let's do the key pins. So we've got inner and outers. And I'll separate them here. You're going to see these are torpedo key pins, but they don't really come into play that much. I guess you could overset them, but I've never really had that issue on this lock. Let's get... These ones don't want to come out. I got an inner there. Let's get some help here. There's 2. And there's 3. All right, nothing special on the plug. No counter milling or anything weird like that. Just standard. Nothing special in the body either. And then here are your pins. So 3 torpedo key pins, 4 spools on the drivers, and 1 standard. So pretty simple. Multi-lock interactive clone. DeGuard High Security Cylinder. It picks just like a multi-lock. There's the interactive element on the key. There is nothing in the body though for that to do the interaction with. There's where it would interact on the bottom of the plug, but this one must be flat. Actually, there's like, that doesn't move at all. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, there's just a little nub right in there. So it slides down and then just push up very briefly on the inside of that, on this little part in here. So, all right, pretty simple. picked and gutted DeGuard High Security Cylinder.